Coffee with Ben. Coffee with Ben.
And all that other stuff. This morning, though, I don't know if you can see, but I'll be drinking Illy coffee. It's Colombia. And I just learned that, let's see, Colombia has fruit notes. Ethiopia is floral notes.
Okay, good.
Brazil is caramel notes. And if you get
somebody came by earlier.
From Guatemala, that's chocolate notes.
Not
The
to fix
important
it.
part is,
Did
does
they
it
see
have
somebody
caffeine?
else?
One at a time. So that's what I'll be drinking this morning. I have a couple ideas about what to talk about, but if anybody has any questions or wants to start a conversation about something, about InterNACHI or inspecting or business and marketing, I'm all for it. But I was thinking about, let's see, Jason, looks like he has an automatic camera that follows with movement. That's kind of cool. Let's see, I'm going to open up my screen so I can see as many people as possible.
I'd like to talk about a flyer I received from one of my radon technicians.
Yeah.
If possible.
Yeah.
There's a couple questions on the exemption things that are on here. If we could touch base at some point.
Yeah, what's that about?
He sent this flyer over to me. I printed it out. I can email it over. It talks about the licensure of Colorado.
In Colorado, right?
And that it begins on July 1st.
Yep.
And then it talks about how to be licensed or who you need to be licensed with. But then it has these exemptions here.
Yeah.
And exemption number 6, I believe, would qualify for InterNACHI because it says an individual acting within scope of practice for which the individual is licensed, registered, or certified, that you are exempt from the 2 licensing types. So I'm just curious on that.
Yep. So for Colorado, we're recognized, we've been working with the state and we're recognized by the state as a certification body. So if you go to our state information page, nachi.org/Colorado, and that works for anywhere you are, for all of you joining in. If you just go to nachi.org/ and then enter your state, one word, you can get some state information. So Mary, if you go to nachi.org/Colorado and scroll down to the radon tester certification, it'll explain some of the licensing, some of the dates, and then it'll show you that we are approved and what courses to take and things like that. And if you have any questions about this, our education team was working on it. They're at education@internachi.org, education@internachi.org. And Kayla is the team manager and she was working on this. So you can get certified by InterNACHI to do a radon test, and that's recognized by the state. That's also true for a couple other states. A couple other states are difficult, like Florida. That's a difficult one, so we try to work with states to get certified in your area. But I would say if you're looking for like state specific information, always go to nachi.org/ and enter your state or country or province. Like nachi.org/Alberta would work as well, as an example.
Thank you.
Yeah. So are all of you members or non-members? Everybody who's a member, maybe raise your hand. Yeah. And anybody who isn't a member, non-member, maybe a couple of you. If you are interested in joining, we have a 14-day free trial if you'd like to try it out. And that's at nachi.org/trial, TRIAL, nachi.org/trial. So thanks, Mary, for bringing that up. Let's see. One of the things I wanted to do was maybe share some information. And then we'll get back to a couple other things. Let's see. Can you see my screen? It has Colorado on it. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of things that I've been working on with a lot of inspectors who are thinking about websites and online presence. So let me just go over a couple ideas. And I've been working on this, so it's in my head. So I just wanted to share it with you. To be certified by InterNACHI, we have this page, Home Inspector Certification Requirements, and there's 6 steps. And that's at CPI. Oh, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Let's highlight it here. So, and that's at nachi.org/CPI requirements to be certified. And then to get a website, so you can get online, you go to nachi.org/website, nachi.org/website. But once you have a website, or maybe you're thinking about getting a website, what you want to do is go to domains.google, domains.google. And then this is kind of fun. So if you have a business website, let's see, how about Stromberger Inspections, right? You can type in Stromberger Inspections, and strombergerinspections.com is available for $12 a year. So if I was, how about Jason Porter? Jason Porter Inspections, right? Jason is available. So jasonporterinspections.com is available for only $12 a year. So if I was thinking about getting a domain, you go to, I hear some feedback. So if you want to turn off your microphones or just double check your microphones, go to domains.google and just type that in. And then you can play around, like figuring out what kind of domain you would like. Like I have, let's try something else. How about, oh, I tried this, Blueberry Inspections. Blueberryinspections.com is available. I mean, that's incredible. That's a fantastic domain for a business, Blueberry Inspections. Like all my inspectors would wear blue. We would give out blueberry candy or blueberry pie at the inspections or something like that. All the marketing, the marketing department internationally would just have a blast branding this Blueberry Inspections as a company domain, as a company name, and then get a domain. And then once you have a business website, you go to Google Business, you search for this, Google Business Profile, Google Business Profile, google.com/business, and just search for Google Business Profile. And you get listed by Google, and you have to get listed by Google. Google has an easy step-by-step way to verify businesses that want to be online, that want to be searched by Google. And so what they do is you have an address for your business, right? And then they send a code to that address. And then you look at the mail, you get the mail, and then you get the thing from Google, right? And you enter the code into this account. So you create your own profile right here, and you manage it. And then you enter the code, and now you're verified, right? So I have one here. This is for, I help Fast Site for You, InterNACHI's official vendor for website design. And this is what it looks like when you have a Google Business Profile and you can manage things. And one of the cool things is if you wanted a Google review, right, you just click this button here. It says share review, and you get this link, and you send this link to any client. And if you don't have clients, well, inspect your neighbor's house and have them do a Google review. So there's a couple steps. You need a domain, right? That was kind of fun to find a domain. And then you need a website. We have a vendor who does websites. And then you need to set up a Google Business Profile to get Google reviews. And it's very easy. They send you a code, you type in the code into your Google Business Profile, and then you start doing Google reviews and things like that. And then you start to stand out on Google. If you are talking to a website design company and they're giving you pushback on how difficult this is, it isn't. It isn't difficult at all. Another one is Google. You can just search for this, Google. Well, let's first, once you have a Google Business Profile, you need a InterNACHI business profile. So let's go to nachi.org. Let me log in as a home inspector. And I know her, and she's going to give me permission to do this. It's my wife, My wife is a CPI, Internet Certified Professional Inspector. And let's go to our dashboard, right? And then we're going to go scroll down to listings. It's kind of like a Google listings, but it's an Internet map listing. And you click listings, and then you enter some cities where you're going to be doing inspections, and you add them, right? And that helps Google and Internet work together on Google Maps, right? You show up on our search engine, and then you show up on Google's search engine as well. And then there's one more thing. Internet. Oh no, let's go to Google. Search for Google console. CONSOLE. This is after you get a website, right? And I just want to put this out there because it looks a little complicated. Like your website design company is going to be like, oh no, we don't do that, or we can help you, but you're on your own. It's very easy. And this is all about SEO, right? SEO. You have to hire somebody, pay them $500 a month or $1,000, or what, something like that to do SEO because it's really it's not complicated. Run away from those search engine providing companies. You don't feel obligated to hire people to do search engine. If you want to, you can, but you can do it yourself. So here's, I help FastSite for You. I'm a consultant for FastSite for You, Internet's vendor for website design. And this is one of the stats. Like you can see how well the website's doing. And then you can see like search results. Like a lot of people for FastSite are searching and finding FastSite by typing in FastSite for You. Some of them are typing home inspector websites or Internet website designs. These are Google search keywords, they're called. And whatever is at the top, you want to put those things on your website. So if it's Jason Porter inspections, you want to make sure that those keywords are on your website, right? And then there's a thing called sitemaps. It's not complicated. You just tell Google, once you have your website, you tell Google, hey, search my website and make sure you can see all the pages so that everything shows up, right? And so that's kind of like a couple of things I've been working on. And then the education team is going to produce a short video series about websites, logos, Google business profile, Internet profile, and then all this other stuff, SEO and things like that. And it's kind of fun, actually. And if you scroll down here, there's where is that? Google console. And go here, Google console. And there's a little video series by Google. And this is, I think his name is Jason, and he's a search advocate.
All the girls.
He'll tell you how, his name is Daniel. And he'll tell you about search engine optimization. So what I want to do is help Internet inspectors get online very easily, and then just do some of the basic things that seem complicated, but actually are a lot more simple than you may think. And so in the Internet newsletter you subscribe to, we'll be releasing some of these videos that will help you get online. Okay. And don't be frightened about getting online and getting a website, search engine optimization. If you're thinking about that, or maybe you're in the middle of all that, we're going to help you out. And so I've been working on that, and I just wanted to share that with you. Does anybody have like website design needs or a website problem, or do you all, is anybody not having a domain? Is someone like thinking about getting a domain and not sure how to do it?
I'm okay.
Yeah. You got to get online, and Google it's so easy to do especially with the domains. And one of the cool things is if you have like a Jason Porter homeinspections.com, you can also search for something shorter, because very long URLs are prone to error when another person is typing it in, or if they're using their thumbs, right? So you may want to think about like porterhi.com, right? If porterhi.com is available, register for it, and then just simply point to it. And then maybe when you're on the phone and you're trying to communicate your website address, you can just say, instead of the long one, just go porterhi.com. And they'll be like, oh, porterhi.com. It's so easy. and you can have multiple domains pointing to the same website and use them differently. Use the short ones for conversation, long ones for reinforcing your company name.
Ben, I have a quick question for you.
Hey, Paul, hit it.
I had just actually, while we signed into Zoom, I got a email from a domain sales company for a domain name in Chicago, and I was kind of thinking about that when you mentioned that about pointing it to, let's say, my other website that's currently up now. It's propertyinspectionschicago.com.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that as using that, pointing it to my existing site, but using that for more of a SEO type thing for kind of like a general search term? Do you think that would be a good idea?
Yeah, that's really smart. But careful, you could do your own domain registration at domains.google, okay? And it's real cheap and very easy to forward and own it, right? You want to own everything. You want to own your website, you own your domains and control them. But it's a great idea to think about how someone is searching online for you. So I typed in, I'm in Boulder right now, Boulder Home Inspector, and then boulderhomeinspector.com is taken, right? So I have to think about something else. Maybe it's homeinspectorinboulder.com, right? I bet that's available because no one's going to do an in the domain, but it might actually work. So you want to also think about keyword searches, and that can be you can get several domains that can help you in that way. So you said you had a home inspection in Chicago, right? So I know a lot of inspectors who do that. Like they'll use their company name and add the city into the domain, like Colorado Best Inspections, right? I think that's Jim Crum's domain. He got the state in there. So when someone's searching online for a Colorado home inspector, he's assuming that he's going to have a better ranking. It's not guaranteed, but for only $12 a year, I would get a lot of domains that may help. It's a great idea.
Yeah, this one looks like it's already owned by another company, so it's just a sales email. So it's a little pricier, but something I'll kind of look into to see what search terms come up.
I get that all the time. Hey, you may be interested, Ben Inspections is available. And I'm like, if it's available, yeah, I'll find it on my own if it's available. Thank you.
Yeah.
Plus, cool, I get scam things in letter form in the mail. It'll say, hey, you got to re-register your company with the state. And it's like, what? And it looks really official. But if you look at the very bottom, it says, this company is not a government entity, and you're paying this third-party provider extra money to do something you could do on your own and probably online. So watch out for those scams. They're so good. They're so good out there.
Yeah, I've seen that in my previous business. We used to get them for labor law posters all the time, and it was that same fine print at the bottom.
Yep.
Not affiliated with any government agency.
That's it. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
So how's business, or what are we doing? Are we thinking about getting into business, or do you need help?
I'm interested in, so I was looking on your website there, and you have the House of Horrors.
Yeah.
But then you also have the 5-day. But I was just wondering what's all included in the 5-day, because it's quite pricey, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying if I'm going to spend $1,875 American, I want to kind of know what all is kind of the agenda and what I'm going to be registering for.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is expensive. I think paying a lot of money, over $1,000 for any kind of home inspection training, you have to be skeptical. So asking a question is fantastic. I'm not sure which House of Horrors you're referring to. What do you know?
So I'm actually from Canada. I'm from Saskatchewan. So I was going to go to the Colorado one because I think that's where your main kind of headquarters is. And I thought that might be the best one, but I could. Colorado is the closest one for me as well. So probably Colorado.
Yeah. Well, it's a business trip. So if you're into Florida, right? If you like the beach, I love the beach, I'd be going to Florida, right? So there are 3 houses. There's one in Pennsylvania as well. and you fly into Philly and you drive a few hours northwest to get to that one. And the 5-day class at any of the House of Horrors is a full 5 days. It's like 8 to 4, 8 to 5. And your instructors are certified master inspectors, CMIs. They're also InterNACHI certified inspectors, and they're also current home inspectors. So we don't have anybody like who hasn't been in the game for 10 years telling you how to do things, right? So we have current home inspectors and they're master inspectors. So that's pretty good. The second thing is at either house, any house, you're going to have more defects than you'll see in 10 years, right? So if you want to know how to recognize a defect, how to take a picture of it, how to describe it in a report with help from a certified master inspector, this is the perfect place, right? The other thing is, if you're thinking about practicing home inspections using a software or a checklist, this is a perfect time to use that. You get the opportunity to inspect like every system and then crash and burn, right? If you're new, like, and you're using software, this is a perfect time to like goof around, see how fast you can do a bathroom inspection or describe what type of roofing materials you're looking at or something like that on your phone or on your iPad or computer device, or maybe pencil and paper, they have that as well. So it's a really great time to practice. But, you know, we have an online college. So I am actually going to recommend you consider doing everything you can online, because I want you to put that money in your pocket, right? And if you need knowledge, get it online. If you need to know about things, get it online. If you need to like figure out some kind of system that you're kind of weak in and knowing, do it online. If you have to be in a classroom, then I would recommend a House of Horrors classroom. They're pretty good, and the trip will be worth it to you. It's going to be costly, but if that's what you need, then I highly recommend that. The House of Horrors is a lot of fun. We put a lot of effort into each one, and we take care of all of our students. So when you go to any House of Horrors, you'll get a set of textbooks. You'll get to rub elbows against other inspectors, see how they're
I'm in
doing
a Zoom meeting with the InterNACHI thing.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
They're already here.
So Karsten, that was a good question. Good question.
So if I'm willing to do a lot of it online, which I have already started,
yeah,
I would probably get a similar amount of benefit just from doing the 1 day then instead. Just doing the 1 day, it's still with a certified master inspector,
yep.
and then I can kind of still go through. Because as a new person, booking the self-guided is very daunting, because I basically am coming in not knowing a lot about houses. I work in healthcare and I just want to get out. So I'm kind of want to do something different, but I'm not an expert. So so maybe the 1 day, if I'm willing to do a lot of it online, then I might benefit as much from the 1 day then as the 5 day, because I'm planning to do all the online through InterNACHI and everything. So the 5 day is more than for someone who hasn't done as much, hasn't done as much prep online, or.
Yep. Well, this is a good question. Maybe just open it up. Let me open it up to everyone else. Does someone have good advice for Karsten? How did you start? How do you go from maybe not being knowledgeable enough, having some hesitation about doing your first inspection? How did you get to the point where you can stand in front of a client and be confident and do a home inspection for them? How did you go from 0 to 60? Anybody want to share that? Yeah, Jason.
However, my experience has been in construction, and I've been doing it for over 20 years, and I've owned my own businesses. So I do have that confidence in myself. However, I did the online class. I did it in record speed, but I was staying up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, doing that. And we were living in Fort Collins, Colorado, and we had let's just say it was a glorified camp house. And so pretty much any and everything in that house, but I took the Spectora. I really like their platform, utilized their free, you get 6 inspection reports and just utilize that, went through it. I used Ben's template. you know, to go through each and every single, you know, exterior HVAC, you know, everything in the house that we actually live in a house of horrors there in Fort Collins, but I was able to go through and do everything online. Even it felt like I rushed it. However, I did take my time, but my experience kind of kicked in. However, you know, coming from healthcare, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
It's Karsten, no problem. Yeah, Karsten.
Karsten. You know, I always tell people too, it's how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to, you know, change careers, and how involved do you want to get into it? And it always explain to clients, you know, they can do all this themselves. I can give them, you know, the home inspection book or some type of things and say, hey, you can do it yourself. You can find a lot of this stuff online. However, it's going to take them a little bit. You know, the simple tools such as a flashlight, a screwdriver, you know, different little things, but just bury yourself in there and reach out to the InterNACHI forum community. There's tons of people out there that are helpful, and just build this confidence up. Do you live in a house or an apartment, or?
Yeah, I live in a house.
Okay, so just use your house as your stomping grounds, and look at everything, identify everything. You know, get you the minimal tools, the GFCI tester, a little voltage meter thing on there, and just minimal things, and go through the Spectora. It's up to you on what platform you would like to use, but for me, for ease of use and everything, I like Spectora, and Ben's template goes through each and every single thing in there. I personally don't use my phone. I use my iPad because it's a bigger screen, and it allows me to go in and take pictures, take video. And, you know, once you get used to this little step process, I think us as humans, we enjoy routine. And once you build that routine and consistency and all that, it just comes natural at the end of the day. I've been to the House of Horrors. It's a great place. Go, however, you know, it's in my backyard. But I think my personal recommendation, save that money for your tools, website. If you don't know how to do that, business cards, logo, getting all these small little steps built up, and then do some training, reach out to family and friends, say, hey, I'll do a home inspection for you. And just go over there for 3 to 4 hours and go look at it. And that way, until you build your confidence, you can ask them questions. And are you a nurse? Or what do you do in the healthcare industry?
Yeah, I'm a nurse. Yeah, I've been doing it for about 5 years now, and it's with COVID and everything, it just became too much. And it's the life balance too. There's no balance with my family and my kids. It's just.
Right. But where I'm going with this is you have interaction with people, right? And you don't have any problems asking people like, hey, how are you feeling today? Or does this hurt? Or things like that. So just kind of use that as a platform for yourself and building up your self-confidence and dealing with people, and then work with family and friends. And then eventually, you know, getting your name out there, going to real estate agents and going to different people and help, and, you know, maybe give away 1 or 2, 3, or in your neighborhood. I know Ben, he's a big advocate of this. You know, in your neighborhood, say, hey, I'll do a free home inspection for you. And I know some of this is daunting, and it's, you know, these dividends aren't going to pay extremely right away, but, you know, it, like I said earlier, it's how bad do you want it?
I'm going to piggyback off of what Jason said a little bit. The agents that we've been able to build a huge relationship with have picked us, or had said we want to be with you because of those relationships, because of the communication. Other than the Spectora report that my husband makes, he will talk to the client for an hour, 2 hours, make them feel like they are the best, that they are in a relationship with us. Same with the agents. And that's how we've been able to build our relationships, is use what you know, use how you talk to people to your advantage. That's going to really set you aside.
Oh,
And one other thing, the mentoring program, there's plenty of people out there that you can hop out and reach out to for the mentoring program and do a ride along, and you can shadow them and see exactly what they're doing too.
yep. I'll type that URL for the mentoring program. It's NACHI.org/mentoring in the chat. Cool. Thanks, Jason. And
Oh, you're welcome.
Michelle or Michael. Is that your husband's name? Yes. Okay.
So, okay, another quick question for you, Ben. So then,
Hit me.
if I become an InterNACHI member, is there professional or master inspectors I could text pictures of stuff to and get information and feedback or advice?
Yeah. Has anybody here used the emergency forum thread on the forum where you can post things immediately?
I've read through it.
Yep. There's a thread on the InterNACHI forum, and it's called emergency. I think it's Houston, we have a problem, where you need an answer really quick. So you could use that. That's been useful and valuable for inspectors, but sometimes inspectors will email me, text me directly a picture. And if I can reply back real quick. So texting is really good. So you just have to find a buddy, and that buddy could be anywhere in the world, in the country, in your area, probably it would be better, a local. So like Jason said, find a mentor. You can find them. They're categorized by locale or the type of services they do, if they prefer email or texting. So I know that happens a lot. People are online or, reaching out because they immediately need an answer. And so I think that's available. We have over 30,000 or around 30,000 members. So I'm sure you can find some small group of people who can help out.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll chime in. My name is Scott, and I joined InterNACHI, and I highly recommend that he joins InterNACHI and get on the forum and everything. I did 23 years ICC certified property maintenance inspector for City of LA, and I'm in California, so I was going to, I was getting bored, and I started in the classes. I passed the test and I guess considered a CPI, but I'm not finished with those 12 classes yet. And but it's been great, and the forum is really good. I'm always on the forum, and you get quick responses on there, and you see stuff that you never see. See, I never looked in the attics as a housing department inspector. I never crawled under the buildings. Yeah, I found some stuff when it was shifting. I could see it, and I would get a flashlight and take a picture, and I would order something. The nice thing about doing code enforcement was that I not only wrote a correction, I actually had to go out and approve, a correction too. So I got to see both ends of it, which was nice. And it's quite different. And to be honest, I didn't think much of the home inspectors that I met during my 23-year career. I'm retired now. And I want to say that with InterNACHI, I'm blown away at the knowledge that is here on this course and with these people here. And it is really a professional thing, and I'm kind of daunted. I haven't gone out and done a home inspection yet, or signed up, mainly because I got slowed down because I'm buying a house out of state. So I'm moving from California. I'm going to Arkansas. And I'm not exactly sure the date yet, but I am. I was going to do the mentoring, and just get out there and see some of these attics and the crawl spaces, which I'm not really that excited about, but that's part of it. The other, I thought I was one of the best inspectors that the City of LA had, and I worked with people and they respected me. And but I just wanted to chime in and say, join InterNACHI to Kirsten, I think that's his name, and get involved in the forum, and you'll see a lot of stuff that's, you're gonna go, oh my gosh, I've never seen that, and you'll see their responses, and it's good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, I took I'm a code, let's see. I took one of the certification exams because we built a course to help prepare to take that exam. I think it's called the property maintenance code inspector. And that's a really good course, actually. I I often recommend home inspectors to take a code course. We have one online, free for InterNACHI members. That was a pretty good code course because it's not like the IRC, which is really thick, but it's a smaller book, property maintenance, but it goes over some really important code. So I've always said, like, if you know just a little bit of code, know a little bit more than you need as a home inspector, you'll be a better home inspector. You don't have to quote code. You're not a code inspector, but if you know a little code, it helps you become a better home inspector. So I think you've got an advantage, Scott, over a lot of folks out there. You should do well in Arkansas. And we've got some resources for you. I just took a look at the state page, got some partner schools out there that can help. And we're approved in Arkansas as well. So good luck with your move. I'm moving as well. So I'm moving from Boulder, Colorado. Headquarters of InterNACHI is in Boulder, Colorado. The pandemic allowed us to open things up and allow people to work from home. And I realized I didn't have to be in one spot. So I'm tired of the winters in Colorado. and Raleigh, North Carolina is only 2 hours from the beach, which is where my family loves to be. And I'm enrolling my kids in universities and schools down there. And we're actually leaving in 20 days. So
congratulations.
But what?
Ben.
Thank you.
I can understand your winters.
Yep. So it's always good. This is the third time I've moved my family, and it's always an adventure. It's always good to shake things up a little bit, release some of the crap that you've collected over the years, and go to a new place. And I'm really looking forward. Raleigh, North Carolina is a great town. There's about 600 InterNACHI members in North Carolina. I'm looking forward to meeting all of them over coffee, but I really love the virtual coffee meetings as well. I'm going to keep going virtual because two things I love to do. I love drinking coffee. Ask my wife. I'm about 4 or 5 cups a day kind of fella. And I love hanging out with home inspectors. So what else do you want to talk about? Does anybody have an immediate need? Like, I have this question, it's been burning in my head and I just want to talk to somebody about it. Jason.
Okay, so I do a flat rate, and I kind of chose that just that way I don't have to deal with the calculations and this and that. So I settled on $400. However, I feel sometimes that kind of scares people away versus on a square footage basis. And I haven't really reached out to the forum or anything, but I guess this would be a great place. Thoughts and what everybody else is doing, and your advice as well, Ben.
Yeah, what's everyone else doing about
Jason,
pricing?
are you in Denver area?
I'm in Colorado Springs, but I'm
on the western slope, and I'm 400 for anything that's not a single wide mobile home. And if I've got to go an hour and a half, I go up to 650 now, and nobody's balking.
Okay. I'm from Texas, so and where I'm going with that statement is traveling for me. It's not a big deal. So, and I've been doing it for the past 6 months. Whether it's to Fort Collins, whether it's down here to Colorado Springs or Aurora, things like that. And majority of them, as I said, aren't balking at the $400 range. But I do have some people, and I'm very in tune with perception, but when it comes to texting or email, it's like, hey, how much for this? And I try to get them on the phone versus, okay, well, it's $400 and upselling my ancillary services, such as radon or sewer or things like that. So I was just kind of seeing what others were doing, and if
I'm in Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee, and I'm doing a flat rate as well. It's 400 here.
Okay.
I've been told by the realtors that Denver is actually up around 800-900. That's what my realtors are telling me over here.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
And I'm in a small town, Tennessee. We're probably an hour from a large city.
Okay.
Yeah. The Denver folks are pushing at least 500-650. Yep, I know that as a minimum. Yeah, so they're really high end. it's a unique situation, I guess. Maybe it really all depends on where you are. But Charles, do you put your flat rate, and Mary, do you put your flat rates on marketing on your website? Is it?
I do
is
not.
it no.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. See, and it's really up to you. Whatever works, right? I always put it on my marketing, and and on the website. I also did a trick. It's absolute a truth trick. I don't know if it still works. Maybe you all can comment on it. I actually had a very, very good friend, and he was cheap. He was a cheap home inspector, right? And he wouldn't work for us very long. His name was Steve. And, so you give, like, you can say, if someone's just price shopping, you can just, and I said that, and our office manager said that, well, we can find you a really cheap inspector, right? And he does the cheapest thing you can come across, right? If you need a cheap inspection and it only lasts like an hour, right? And he does a 4-page report, right? By hand, I got that guy, right? But I'm not, we're not that inspector. And this is what we are. We're going to do this and this and that, so I don't know if that's a trick. It actually worked for us, but I don't know if that's a trick that doesn't work anymore, or someone still uses it, or I don't know if you have a comment. Anybody else need anything?
One thing I've been really puzzled with is the Google reviews.
Okay.
Our clients say they love us. We've had some really good real estate agents. We're still in year 1, so it's still baby steps. But getting our clients to make the Google review, how important is that? And what strategies have you used?
Very important.
Yep. Anybody do Google reviews?
I do.
Jason, you value them?
Pretty much. I will offer them a 5% discount right then and there if they do a Google review, because they forget about it, and then I got to sit there and constantly either text or email. And if I can right then and there, I only have 5 of them right now, but each and every single one of those, I told them, hey, I'll knock 5% off right now if you do it. And it's already on my phone. So I just text it right there to them, and then, okay, I'm wrapping up. Did you get that done? So it just kind of coaching them into it. But I'm a big believer in that Google review, because it will kick you up 9 times out of 10. Most people, when they go on Google home inspectors, that thing's going to pop up, and you're going to populate right up to the top. And piggybacking off what you said with the SEO stuff, that stuff takes 9 to 12 months to get going. And I learned, because I'm in photography as well, and one of the photographer guys that I knew, I was like, dang, how are you getting so much business? He goes, it's just Google reviews. Once you get on there, Google likes that. They like to see that people are reviewing on there, and do the best work that you can. That way you can get that 5-star review. I mean, granted, we're not going to hit home runs every time, but if we can maintain, at least 4.5 and above, you'll populate to the very top.
The link that Ben showed earlier in I think it was Google Console, that you can actually send to the client, that I didn't know existed. And I have been asking people to go to Google, search my business name, make a review. So that is going to be awesome for me.
It's Google Business Profile. Google Business Profile. Gotcha. And there'll be a button there that you can share.
Have that link on your phone somewhere, like a note or whatever, and then that way you copy it, and then when you send them a text message, like right then and there, that way that link goes directly to them, and they can fill that out right then and there. And 5%, I mean, you're 5%. Yeah.
We use the Spectora software also, and we do a 5-day follow-up email where that link is in there. And I don't know, I guess maybe put it with the initial one, and then we'll try maybe a discount to encourage.
I like asking people while they're happy, right? To share their thoughts. So, you can do a client survey, like old school kind of thing, immediately. I love Jason. Jason, I'm going to steal your idea. I'm going to tell everybody Jason Porter's idea is this.
Go ahead.
Take it to go. I love that. Because that's the problem. Like Jason said, and I don't know, if you wait 5 days, people are going to forget. They're already involved into the next step of the transaction and getting to the closing and all that stuff. Like they're forgetting how great your inspection was, right? So kind of hit everybody while they're happy. It's probably, you want to shorten that time period, I'd say. 5 days seems like too long, but if it works, you have to try things that don't work, tweak it.
It's not working right now, so I'm definitely going to try something else.
And then Google makes it impossible to embed those Google reviews on your website. So you need something else. If you want to embed them live on your website, you can. And I like, this is going to be difficult, elfsight.com, ELFSIGHT.com. Sorry, window, elfsight.com. And then there's something with Google reviews, and there's a free package, and there's a $5 a year or a month package or something like that. You can control, you can embed code. And then when you get a Google review, it automatically pops up on your website, and you can control what you want to see. So you can just say, look, just put up on my website the 4 and 5 star ratings, and I'll manage the 1, 2, 3 bad ratings. So elfsight.com is kind of a cool, and if I'm saying it wrong, just email me and say, what did you say? And I'll find it for you. Okay. Anybody else?
Ben, I have to step out on you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love Inondachi and everything that you do. I got to go to an inspection, but I so appreciate you.
Thanks,
Bye,
Mary.
everybody.
Thank you, Mary.
Bye.
Stay safe and healthy.
So
All right.
Ben, how do I find your Spectora template?
You find Spectora template in the template community. Maybe Jason knows because he's there. But I was told, I was asked to make a template. I did it real quick. Hopefully it's valuable.
I've tweaked it a little bit, but
okay,
just for me. But
okay, watch the videos. Don't use my videos. I think I don't know. I can't remember. Kevin asked me to do it. Michael asked me to do it real quick. So watch. Just go over. I don't like the whole idea of using someone else's words. So Karsten, if you're looking for a template, that's great. Start with something, but then write as you speak. Like I speak in a very different way. Very short sentences, grammatically incorrect. And that's how my report should probably read, right? It shouldn't be some superfluous thesaurus dictionary filled terminology that I don't, that's not how I talk, because if someone wants to read your report, they want to remember what you said. And so how I write is how I speak. And you should probably think about that as well. You can use my template or anybody's template, but just be careful. Just put it in your own words. You guys want to wrap up? You want to keep going?
One last thing to share.
Yeah.
So to set myself apart, I haven't had the budget to personalize my home inspection maintenance yet. However, my grandfather was he was both a civil engineer and a survey engineer. Anyway, these engineers, whether mechanical, electrical, plumbing, architectural, they have their own embosser stamp. So I started thinking, and I don't know if Heidi over there showed you guys or not, but anyway, I picked up my case of books because I ran out. But so what I did was I bought an embosser. I don't know if you guys can see that very well.
That's
and I
great.
Tweaked the logo a little bit, but that and I put it on my hard copy of the Spectora report. So number one, it's personalized, but they also feel like, hey, okay, I know we're probably not really recognized as official people or anything like that, but it goes a long way. It's like, okay, I got a seal here. It can't be duplicated, number one. And then that way, it just looks more official for me. So I provide a digital copy of the Spectora thing, but I bought an embosser stamp for like $40. I tweak the logo, but if anybody wants to reach out to me, and I can provide the file for you and you can edit it. And I think it took like 2 weeks to get the embosser, and bought I like the gold seals, but you can get the silver ones as well. But I put it in the book and my hard copy of my home inspection report to my clients, and they really like it. And I put the plastic sleeves and all that good stuff. So as Ben always says, and I'm a firm believer in it as well, set yourself apart. Get yourself some business cards through Internachi, great team over there. But just set yourself apart from everybody else and stay calm, cool, and collective, and try not just seem knowledgeable and all that. But if you need help, go through a mentoring program or research back into your Internachi workbook and just go through everything. And great team and community out there, especially within the forums, and just dive in. And I'll leave with this, just put your heart into it. The more that you put into it, the more you get back.
Fantastic. That's really great, Jason. Thanks for having coffee with me.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I want to thank all of you for having coffee with me. I really appreciate it. Jason, you're in Colorado Springs?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to
just there, like, I was there. I came by the office, not this past Friday, but the Friday before. Heidi, I just happened to reach Heidi because I was heading to Colorado Springs to drop off a book, and she just happened to show up. And I was like, yes, thank you. So I got my case of home maintenance. But yeah, you want to join up?
I want to join you up with my videographer.
Okay.
You want to be in front of a camera?
Sure.
That'd be great. He's in Colorado Springs. His
Okay.
name is AJ. Okay. Could you please email AJ at internachi.org, AJ@internachi.org, and let's see if we can get together in a way.
Okay.
That's fantastic. I love the tips that you've given, and it'd be really great to see someone other than me in front of a camera. I got too many videos out there. I want other people out there.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. And actually, if any of you want to be in front of a camera, just email me, ben@internachi.org, and let's see what we can do. I'm trying to get as many Internachi members on camera online as possible. I want to share the love. So thank you all for having coffee with me. Let's do it again. If you ever need me without coffee, my email is ben@internachi.org, ben@internachi.org. I reply to every email. So just reach out to me, and that'd be really great to talk to you again. I really appreciate it, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you very much.